You need that opening to heal. And healing is what the honor flight does.
Veterans and their families poured into the Hilton Garden Inn in Wausau on Sunday evening to hold a send-off for the never-forgotten honor flight. Vietnam veteran Gary Cook, who spent over 40 years in the service, lost 3 of his men while he was gone on rest and recuperation, and said the survivor's guilt and nightmares he experienced for years were unbearable. The honor flight tried multiple times to get him to come down to D.C. for the experience, but a push from his wife, who he met in the service, was all he needed.
And then the third time they called, because they weren't going to give up on me, my wife said, I'm also going with you. So that convinced me I will have some support that I can really lean on.
Cook said it wasn't until he arrived at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C., that he truly felt years of weight come off his shoulders.
And we got to the wall. We went down to the slate where all my men were, and she turned, and I said, turn here. And I had seen finding the names on the wall. And I think that's what settled everything in me.
And the experience helped Cook overcome adversity caused by 2 major factors, one being how many Vietnam veterans were treated when they returned home, and the other from carrying survivor's guilt for so many years. He says the honor flight changed all of that.
And now I am so glad every time we have this honor flight to come here and say, I'll volunteer, I want to get you guys on there. And I go out constantly, and anybody I see I know is a vet, I try and get them to sign up because it will change their life.
If you're a veteran still dealing with the stress you endured from your time in the service, Cook wants you to know that the honor flight has a seat at the table for you.
It will take away so many of the bad memories, the bad, like, black hole in your heart that all this stuff has caused, and let it start to heal. Healing is what the honor flight does. And you're with so many other veterans. And my story is not unique.
In Wausau, I'm Jake Force, Newswatch 12.